Holy fuck. It's as bad as I thought it was. Well, morning, evening, and afternoon, folks. And you thought I'm going to do a fucking ball toggle, huh? Hell nah. Well, unfortunately speaking, you're gonna be stuck with me today with that on me. So, yeah, get used to the look. Oh, how I have missed this. Well, where's my manners? How's everyone doing, huh? God, I can't hear myself think right now. Hold on. Music is a little bit too loud for my taste. There we go. Welcome me back, I guess. Jesus. I just wanted to say that, God, do I miss this. God, do I miss this so much. We're not gonna have so much theatrics today. I'm just gonna sit down and talk for a bit because I don't have much time today. I only got like 3 hours max because, okay, there's a few good news and bad news before I even begin with my service. But, first of all, how's everyone doing? I miss you guys so much. I miss this so much, you know. Let me be a bit closer. There we go. Hope you're doing somewhat fine. Well, there are good parts and there are bad parts. And, we're gonna talk about that later. But yeah, this is probably the longest time I've been away, I think. And also, if you haven't really think about it, or if you haven't really, like, kind of feel about it, feel? What? No, okay, it's been a while since I actually talked to an actual audience, you know? Not just responding to anything with, sir, yes, sir! You know? But, yeah, there's definitely a lot of change and a lot of things that happened with me, both mentally and physically. And to say that I'm the same person to come that was before when I finished the last stream was definitely an understatement. But yeah, failing an exam, but I'm investing my talents and dreams. Go for that shit. Go for that. You won't know when you eventually lost your chance for that dream of yours. Our baby girl's almost speechless. We missed you too, our dear secretary. You know, the funny part is I couldn't bring myself to a fucking tear anymore after these 3 weeks. Has it been 3 weeks? I think it has been, hasn't it? God. Yeah, it definitely has been like at least 2 weeks at this point. But yeah, I'm very cold. I have 2 beanies on and 1 scarf and also a blanket over me, and my leg is still freezing. I mean, granted, there really isn't much going down there. On the normal occasions, I only put on pants anyway, on a special occasions or whatever. You're changing less than you think, but more than you want. That's true. The number of times I mentioned you to my IRL has surpassed the number where you're actually streaming. Listen, if I were able to actually stream, I would have done that. But there's so much limitations and so much things that happened during these past 2 weeks or so that I couldn't really bring myself to come back and stream. It's so much. And plus, I wasn't really able to come back anyway, so hey, there's that. But aside from that, you know, God, has it been so much that happened. And, I hope you guys are doing well, because, military is a hell of a shit, you know? God. The cold front, hope you're keeping warm. I have another thing to talk about that later. Understandable, don't worry about it, yeah. Oh, forgot to mute, sorry. But yeah, the good thing is, during basic training, I did went into a buzz cut before I went into basic training at the 23rd of December. But when I got into the boot camp, they immediately picked me out and said that your hair is not like long enough. Well, it's not short enough, so I got shaved twice. And when your scalp is exposed, there really isn't that much skin compared to your other places because because of how worn they are, right? Like your hands, your forearms, your shoulder, they're always scratching, always like touching something. So eventually you'll go stale, go worn, and then it will eventually be calloused. But your scalp doesn't. So like, I can't explain just how much heat your scalp can like absorb when there's sun, and I can't even express how much cold you can feel without a single string of your hair on your top. It's like, yeah, exactly. There's literally no fat under those skins. So tell me about it. Yeah, exactly. You feel like a freaking skin color photosynthesis. Let me put this away. Okay, sorry. But yeah, yeah, it's really bad. My hair's gone back to like 4 to 5 centimeters at this point, and yeah, it's decent now. It's decent now. I still have to wear a beanie when there's wind, but it's not as bad as it was before. But yeah, but where do I even begin? Let's, you know what, let's get the bad things out of the way. Fuck. The funny thing is, I did write like 3 pages of journals every single day. I space out myself. Whenever I got a chance, I always write some diaries and some journal entries. And I like average amount like 1,000 to 2,000 words per day, so I can express all of the stuff that I've done and documented down. But unfortunately, I didn't take it with me this time when I returned. So yeah, I don't have my journal book today. You have time for that? I have like, brother. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't feel like 22. But second of all, there's a lot of waiting time. There's a lot of fucking waiting time when you just sit down and absolutely do nothing. The whole thought that I thought that like the people who got into military tells me that, oh, if you get into the military, if you get into basic training, turn your brain off. You would live 1,000 times better than you would if you have your brains on. I always thought it's because of how malignant, like how monotonous the schedule is and how little space you have for thinking. So the more you think, the more you're gonna tire yourself out. No, the issue with military is that you literally have so much time to think that once you started thinking about all the bullshit that you have to put up, you overwhelm yourself in that few hours of times that you have. So now you're doing photosynthesis in the middle of the goddamn sun, waiting for instructions. God, I'm freaking rambling already. While thinking about how much bullshit that your freaking senior has to put up to you. So it's ridiculous how much time that I have to wait. Like, I have to just sit down and do absolutely nothing until the higher up tells you what to do after that. But anyway, sorry. How's it going, Anna? Zen 2. Now the military wants you to not think. It works, yeah, it definitely works. Negative int plus brute? No, plus dexterity and faith. A lot of faith. I would have died from boredom had I not had faith, okay? Like, you have no idea how much I occupy myself with the thought of the loved ones that I have in my life. just to push forward with all the shit that I have to put up to. I don't even want to begin with that shit. I have 2-3 hours of this, and I'm gonna feel every single second of all the complaints and thoughts I have. You enlisted? It's a mandatory service, so I did enlist, yeah. And I'm still currently in basic training. I have 1 week left in my basic training. Us? More than enough times. More than enough times. I mean, you need to be desensitized in a war scenario, so... Well, no, I'm more trained in desensitizing bullshits. You know? I'm less desensitized on, like, things that are brutal and more on the cruel end than it is the freaking stupid chain of command that you have to get used to. But yeah, you know what? Let me get before I get into the bad sides and good sides, let me get through my schedule, because there has been a huge change of updates that I have to update you guys to, because the post that I made before I got into basic training, it's a little bit outdated. I will probably think about putting one more message on both YouTube and also on Twitter, so you guys can see, and also on Discord, so you guys can see the updates. But for those who are here already, let me tell you about this, is that my basic training is 28 days. It began in the 23rd, all right, the 23rd of December. I had one more day off on, let me open on my not my calculator, my calendar. I have one more day, two more day offs at the weekend of 17th and 18th. So next week, it's my on the 16th, I'll finish my basic training. And on 17th and 18th, I will have time to come back and stream again, but depends on the schedules, I probably won't be able to, because a lot of bullshit I have to put up to in the past few days or so. A lot of retirement and a lot of family issues at the moment, so I have to get used to that at the same time doing the military service. If I'm speaking way too fast and a little bit too like bunched up, then do let me know. I find myself to be a lot more stuttering back in the days, but because of how much you have to put through messages in the military, I became extremely fluent in expressing my thoughts at this point. So if it is a little bit too fast for some of you guys, if it's a little bit too tense for some of you guys, do let me know, okay? But anyway, on the 17th and 18th, I do have day offs to come back to. If the schedule serves me right, I'll come back and stream again on 17th the same day, the same time. But yeah, if not, I'll do let you guys know about it on Discord. If you haven't joined it, please go join it. After the 17th and 18th weekend, I will be put in a specific security patrol unit as a secondary training afterwards, because of my specialties. When I signed up, I specifically mentioned that I'm good at doing paperwork in foreign languages, so they put me in airport security. They put me in airport security for the convenience of me being able to train myself to be a better, I guess, authority, and also use my my multilingual abilities. Just in time for 2 years. Bucket with the 24 months. Bucket, I miss you. I miss all of you. Welcome back there. Thanks so much for 24 months. Am I not even gonna live enough for you guys to finish your goddamn membership? How have you been there, Bucket? I saw that both you and Shinta were sick, like a few days ago. Are you guys doing well? I miss you so much too, Bucket. I miss you so much too. I miss this. I miss the serenity that this thing brings. And you can hear from my voice that I'm very, very tired. Not just physically, but mentally. And look who decided to come back. Guess who's also in the service? Ice! How's it going there, Ice? It's been a hell of a long time. How have you been there? Now I feel your pain. God. Also back to 100% think. Well, good to hear that. Good to hear that. Yesterday was kind of bad, but had to take some meds. Good to know that. Well, hope that you have speedy recovery there. Times must be rough, ain't it? Well, rough ain't just the part of it. Let me tell you, the chain of command is a load of horseshit, and I have to put up to that bullshit. Because I have multilingual abilities and there's a bunch of foreign in my fucking unit for some reason. So... do I have a lot of story to tell you guys? Fuck, I hated it. People said you gotta go for 6 months. Try quadruple that. I know. What are you doing right now? Are you... you never finished basic training now, right? At least you got a good position. Oh, I will put you in a good position. Small talk. There really isn't much of a time for you to relieve yourself during that week of basic training. And you don't know how pent up I was when I returned home. I was like, fuck. So like as soon as I got back, I was like, do not tempt me, okay? If I even see like even a tidbit of a cleavage, I will rain hell on you. Do not tempt me. I love the new toupee. Welcome back, Fasto. It's all over the screen. It's just a replacement, okay? I try to delete my hair, but there's so much mesh in my hair that I cannot do. You know what? Give me a moment. I just want you guys, okay. For those who are watching me in public, make sure that there's no one around you that can look at your stream. And for those who are looking alone, look very carefully. I do not remember which hotkey it was. Let me see. So, amidst of trying to delete my hair forcefully, I think I found a different. Oh, there it is. Which key is it? Okay, I think that's the key, right? All right. Let me just be a bit darker, so you guys can get in the mood. But you gotta get used to. You know what? Hold on. Give me a moment. I'll put this away for now. There we go. So, in midst of trying out meshes and tweaking around settings of V2 Studio, I found out about this certain thing. I'll give you 2 seconds to look at this. You ready? Lesson learned. Only watching Nious in private with headphones. That's been like the day one rules of us. Alright, basic training for 3, academy training for 6. I just finished that. Now waiting for deployment. As we're waiting, I'm a construction worker now, carrying cement and bricks. A tasting sand. Oh, you got it worse for me then. Welcome back there, you. How have you been there? Wait, hold on. Have I seen you before? Give me a moment. I have never seen you before, haven't I? It's the first time seeing you here. Enjoy your stay. And also, I just turned off the music. I'm not used to text now because everything is done in paperwork. Because fucking, I'm in the Bronze Age in the military. Okay. You have no idea how little signal it is. You don't even need EMPs in the freaking camp. They already EMP themselves. There's no need for that shit. Okay. Give me a moment. There we go. Alright, I'm back. Are you ready? Let's talk when you finish your service. Let me be the only one who understands your pain. Tell it to Shinta. Shinta did it for like 17 years, haven't it? Alright. You ready? And... wait, hold on. Oh, this mesh wasn't... my eyes isn't glowing. Shit. Well... There we go. Alright. Turn the lights back on. Thanks to... I didn't know that for 3 years of me using this model that it's fully, like, textured. It's fully textured. Why is it fully textured? I don't understand. Isn't it like what? Like, okay, that sprouts so much issue on the technical side of things. In that, if it's fully textured, then that means that the rest of my body is also fully textured internally. Which also means that when my papa was doing my modeling, he basically had to mesh every single stream together, a multitude of sides, a multitude of meshes, like thousands of times over. Why not? You know how ridiculous that is? So yeah, in the future we probably have some other future project we can probably do with this model. But anyway, but yeah, what was I saying again? Mama knew what they were doing. Thanks to her. Thank you so much, and still miss you. Did he make it, Dingle Dog? I don't think it did. I don't think there is. Because if it's lore accurate, then it's like an ego and a worm inside of his mouth. Anyway, I hope not. I hope not either. I can't believe and so spontaneously exploded. Nah, the only one people in Hadash spontaneously exploded. BGN a bit loud. All right. Thank you for letting me know that. All right. But yeah, not enough. Do it again. I'll keep pestering Shivy. God fucking damn it. But that's all you get. Right. I'll go back to campus tomorrow. Well, I go back to camp tomorrow, so... Motherfucker. At least you look exactly like the Bruce Willis dude. You know, the ridiculous thing is, I think most of you guys can know which which bald head this is. But yeah, I think it's pretty easy to recognize this and even know like the face of it. I'm a little late, but how's it going earlier? Heisenberg? Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows it. Yeah, everyone knows it. It's so easy to see. Certainly not Milky-chan's request, but do you perhaps have golden bikini toggle? Like, can you be normal for like a second? Sorry, that's not aimed to be an insult. That's just pure common sense. Anyway, oh yeah, oh crappy, Jesus, okay. Tech issues. Normal in this house, so yeah, sorry. I forgot, this is the Heritage household. Come on, you know what we're about. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I want to. Doesn't mean I don't want to, but Normal, you created this fan base. Hey, I enabled it. You guys are the way you are, okay? Just because I encourage it doesn't mean that I stand by it. Wait, hold on. That sounds manipulative. Anyway, you didn't raise us to be normal. I like how you guys are scolding me for like shaping how you guys behave. Then come for a Milky-chan commission store to put Nious in the bikini. For what the fuck? I was actually commissioned by Milky? There's no fucking way. Okay, listen. We'll leave the chit-chat a little bit later, okay? Let me finish the entire schedule thing, alright? Anyway, right, back to the schedule thing. Because of the... because from after deployment, I will be deployed into the police force, basically. I have my doubts, I know you do. Because I'll be deployed into the police force, my schedule and my day offs will be completely arranged and also trained by the police force. So I'll have 2 more weeks of advanced training afterwards. And after that, I'll be deployed into the airports. But from that point onwards, my day offs are completely up in the air. I do not have controls over when or what do I want to do, how much do I want to go and have day offs. So yeah. But it's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be like 15 days straight of complete like 8-hour services. Probably not. It's probably gonna be like 5 days of service and then 2 days of day off. So probably like 4 to 3. It's either 5 to 3 or 4 to 2. You know, it's not that bad, but I will keep you guys posted as the time goes. For now, I have no idea when I'm gonna go to. All I know is once I finish basic training, I'll go to advanced training. So yeah, MP, I hated them. They gave speeding tickets in the barracks. Well, fortunately, I'm not in the barracks. I'm gonna be giving tickets to the freaking civilians. The hell yeah! I request a guard outfit Nious in the future. I mean, I'm pretty close to it at this point. I already have my uniform. Fuck the police, am I right? Yeah, I'm trying! You understand, bro? Don't forget to try and rest a bit on a day off, yeah. I'm gonna be real with you guys, but... yeah. Future's not easy for me, folks. And next year, I'll probably be streaming less and less as time goes. Not because I don't want to, but because I simply can't. And I'm only talking about the future just for a tiny bit about this also. My deployment finish at June 13th. But by then, when I return, 2020 in 2026, not next year. I'm still thinking about 2025 for some reason. But yeah, in 2026, I'll be streaming less and less, unfortunately, because of a lot of things changing. Even if you stream like 2 times a week, we take those. Yeah, I mean that's the issue though. I don't even know if I can squeeze 2 times in the week anymore. But yeah, after I finish my service, which ends, take notes, folks, it's important. I finished my service at June 13th, exactly 6 months ish. You know, exactly 6 months ish. That's kind of stupid, but like 6 months ish of service. Afterwards, I will be looking for a full-time job in an airport as a frontline attendant. So yeah, it's gonna be busy for me. I'm gonna have a decent wage to balance myself and everything, because the military did not pay me money enough to sustain myself during these times, and I had to return home every single fucking weekend. So yeah, by the time when I get out of the military, if I calculate correctly, I am very, very broke. Like down to the penny. If I calculate it correctly, it's not gonna be good. So I'll be spending the last bit of my dosh moving near the airport where I'll be working, and that will take me a few weeks to set up. But yeah, the moving process is still up for debate. I still have no idea when I'm gonna go next. But all I know is that I'll be put into training for the flight attendant thing and the frontline attendant thing in airports after I finish my service for a few months or so, until I can get a full-time job in there. And afterwards, I'll be working a full-time job aside from this. So again, it's all up in the air. Chances are entire 2026 is going to be a lot of changes. So moving already is going to occupy me for quite a few weeks. So I will tell you guys about the schedules after I get it, but the chances are during the moving periods I won't be able to stream at all because of like internet and things. So yeah, decent job is important, yeah, because I do need to sustain myself. So I will try my best to still stream, but yeah, it's not gonna be as frequent as I can, even though it wasn't frequent before anyway compared to other streamers in the past 3 years. Fucking Jesus Christ! I forgot about that part. Shin Tower to 20. Thank you so much. Understandable, have a good life, yeah. So I'm not saying this to tell you guys that okay, you guys can be out, you know, or like please miss me, but no, I just want you guys to be mentally prepared for the future. Thank you so much for the 20. Jinda, also fuck you. Caught me off guard there. Little shit. Yeah, just I hate waiting. I talked about this a long time ago. I hate waiting, and I hate even more to make people suffer the same fate as I would, you know? So I wouldn't wish my worst enemies the shit that I have to go through, let alone the people that I truly care about. So yeah, I don't like to keep you guys waiting. I hate it, but I have to tell you guys, but because I can't sustain myself in this point at this point. I was thinking what is happening in the background. Turmoil. Yeah. So that's the schedules. Let's go to the good parts and the bad parts of the past 2 weeks and 3 weeks or so. The bad parts, I don't want it to scare you guys, but I can really feel it at this point. It was bad since the first week, but it was even worse now. I think I permanently somewhat scarred my vocal cords a little bit in the second week of my deployment of basic training. And I don't know if you can hear a little bit of that raspiness in my voice at this point, but I can't get rid of that at all. It's not possible for me anymore. So on this point onwards, my voice isn't going to be as clean as I used to be compared to like I don't know, like a month ago. I feel a bit of a raspiness and a bit of like that bit of irritations in my throat on a constant basis, no matter how much I hydrate myself and no matter how much I rest my voice. It's a little bit daunting now to think, because I mean, I am at the age where bodily function is going slowly but surely like degrading, but I didn't expect the effect to take in this fast. Not too much, it feels less breathy. Yeah, because like I have to learn how to not talk in my inside voice. so I was constantly yelling for the past two to 3 weeks or so. It's ridiculous how much I had to yell every single day. But yeah, really like a rough news. I was you know, when I was thinking about talking this on stream, my thought was, okay, listen, when I talk about this, it's gonna be a very mixed opinions about it. One side's gonna be like, oh, raspiness. Well, we like it rough. The other side's gonna be like, oh no, it's gonna be genuinely like actually worry about it. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. When I started talking about it, I just figure if it was a health issue, then I definitely should have put it into like a bad side of things. What I know about airport service is that you have a hard start, but the job will give you enough time to rest. You will have enough time to do your things too. Don't fret right now. You know, that's one thing that I also learned in military, which I'll talk about later. Yep, that is a part of the game. It's best to learn how to use your chest voice. It has the most bang for the buck. Yeah, but truth is, I tried. It still ruined my voice a lot because of the season. The cold air really kills your trachea and your vocal cords at the same time. It dries us so fast that you cannot go through like 10 minutes of burst without hurting yourself some way or another. So the cold air is really killing me for the past weeks. Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't choose to be enlisted during the summer anyway, but I didn't expect the cold to be this bad this winter. But yeah, that's one of the bad things that affected me. One more bad thing is that, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's kind of correlated to Bucket's things when I want to talk about, is that I feel less. Like, I feel less than who I was 3 weeks ago. I can't experience joy or depression as intense as it was before. And I don't know, that scares me. That scares me so much because it's like losing part of the part that really defines you as a person, you know? Like growing up I was always the drama queen, and I feel like part of me died trying to get used to the bullshit that was put up to me. All I can feel is, again, that numbness and just anger. I feel like I'm just so much more, like my fuse has gotten shorter, so much shorter. All I can feel is just pain all the time. So like when I got back, I have trouble like talking to people. I have trouble adjusting to the civilian life, like saying thank you after things, and you know, not constantly try to remember to take my cap off indoor, and not to like woke up at 6 in the morning and just continue to be like half sleepy but also half like up for the entire day out of fear. Like this morning was probably the worst morning I have in a long time, because I slept at 2 in the morning and I woke up at 6, like flat, without any alarm. And I can't get myself back to sleep anymore. It's just like when I genuinely like jumped up without a bathroom or anything else. It's ridiculous how much it drills into your brain and kind of eats you from the inside. It's probably due to your mind being overwhelmed by those new impressions. You numb down a bit. Don't worry, it'll come back once the thing have settled. Yeah. Exactly what Shinta said. That numb actually is a response to all the stress and fear you're facing, but once these days pass, you'll recover. That's what happened to me when I was in corporal. That spark died, but trust me, you'll get it back. Yeah. Like, that scary part came to me when I was using my phone for the first time in like a few days of service. When I came back and typed the messages in Discord, like my mind was blank, listening to the music that I like, and watching the videos that I used to care about. Like it scared me. Just like, these are the things that make me happy before, but nothing fucking stuck. Like nothing was processed at all in my brain. So it's, yeah. I actually had to force myself to not stand like I did when in service, yeah. So like, it's rough on the brain. It's definitely rough on the brain. Surprisingly so, I was able to like put myself into that environment and get used to it for a bit, but that's at the expense of completely sacrificing like half of myself just to lay low and try to get through the entire service. And the past 2 weeks or so, it's been exactly that. Your whole military covers up your mind, but your core stays the same. It's gonna take me a while before I come back to that. Like, I don't know if you guys kind of discovered that for a bit, but I feel like I'm a bit somber today. Like, I like if you compare me to like a few days ago when I'm playing video games, like I feel like I'm a lot more somber and a lot more toned down, and a lot more numb compared to what I was before. I'm still like laughing and happy and, you know, things like that, but it's a lot less intense as it was before. And I don't know what to do with that. I'll just probably have to sit it out, you know, as you guys said. I'll just probably have to sit it out. Important thing though, don't try to force yourself with anything. You're already going through a lot. Let your body feel what it needs to feel. Yeah, I need to like process it through. I actually expect you to be like that after a few weeks. True. Speaking of true, how's it going at True Neutral? How have you been there? I'm back for a bit, so cherish that. Yeah. I haven't even gotten to talk about my schedules and shit. It's ridiculous. What a timing. True. Yeah, so like, that's one of the few things that kind of, I think that's it. That's the only few things that kind of brought me down for a bit. Oh boy. Oh shit. Totally understand you, bro. I still haven't gotten myself back, and that's totally fine and totally normal. Your own pace, dear secretary, your own pace. But that also compliments for a few things that was actually good. Bless you. Hey, please. I need a relief right now. You have no idea how much I have to fucking like. Oh, there's no fucking stalls in the wash. There's no stall, so you have to look at dicks without, you know. You have no idea how much it is to. Like, the bag panic was freaking ridiculous. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I don't even mind if you stuck like this for half a year. This is in fact a serious matter, but it takes time to heal. Stick it with your own pace and take care. We always got you. Yeah. Thanks there, Angela. Appreciate that. It's gonna be a while before I come back to who I was before, but yeah. I just want to say it's probably gonna get worse as it goes, alright? Military is just like stepping into a whole different world, one that is absolutely nonsensical at times. It's overwhelming for everyone, yeah. But were you interested in some of them? No, not at all. You know, one thing that I learned about military is that The people who stay in the military are the people who cannot withhold or survive physically in the civilian world. That's why they chose to stay there. There were a reason for that. So, you know, some of them are decently good in postures and decently good in their figure, but higher up, eesh. You think so? I'm not to say that all military people are bad, but I'm just saying that, you know, there really isn't that much options out there. Did they do the roid jiggle too? Nuna, what the fuck? You just ruined that fucking scene for me. That little interaction between Robert and Royd in the bathroom, where it's just like, oh, I don't touch it, I just, you know, I just fling it around and just... I now kind of process and realize what that part meant and why that like disgusted Robert. It must be like a fucking tree trunk. It must be like bigger than Robert's wrist. I mean, sorry. Okay, off topic. We need to get back to it. Off topic. So, what was I saying again? Oh yeah. So here are the good parts. That was somewhat complemented by the bad parts, the negative side of things that I had to withhold. Also, just a small tip/hint. You are going through something harsh now, but you will get past it. You will get a good position at your job thanks to your skill. After that, you'll get promoted after a while. Hang in there, bro. Yeah, this all comes down to time. But do I have a lot of things to talk about? Anyway, yeah. So regarding the good things, yeah, one of the big things that you can probably realize is that I'm stuttering a lot less. I'm getting my sentence out a lot like fluently in the beginning, and the more I talk, the more I get antsy and things like that. But when I began the streams, you can really tell that I was fully like fluent in my speech and things, and that came about because of the numbness that I feel. I used to be so antsy and so nervous about everything, but like I realized that my heart rate was barely pounding for the past 3 weeks. Like I barely got nervous about any times. I just kind of have to go through it, because once I process it, I'll just go into nervous breakdown. So anxiety attacks, surprisingly, only happen like twice, which is on average like 5 times less than average time. No pounding now, huh? What a bummer. Yeah, you would have wished that, but yeah, you would have get court-martial if you were to do that in basic training. But anyway, yeah, so the speech has slowed down a lot right now because, well, back to my usual self. I'm just adjusting to it left and right, but if I get into that settings, if I get into like me talking about things without really worrying about any of the chats and stuff, and just like letting my thought throughs and try to get the message through, you can tell right now that my message is like my pattern of speech just becomes very more fluently. Not because I conquer anything like that, but because like the numbness that I'm feeling right now basically suppressed all the antsy feeling that I have when it comes to speech, which completely blocks out a lot of times when I was nervous and when I was stuttering. So the speech probably won't be like more effective by any means, but it's definitely a lot easier to digest compared to what it was before. So yeah, that's one of the good things, I guess. The other thing is that I've learned to shut the fuck up a lot easier. I don't know how to explain it, but like I used to be this guy that just reacts to everything. But like, funny story, there's this one particular lecture that's basically a freaking propaganda lecture that you have to take during basic training, where they will talk to you about like the benefits of signing to be a proper soldier within the military, so that they can lure you in to become free labor for the government, right? And that entire part, like I was sitting, so it's like a stadium full of people, and there's like a colonel on the front that you definitely do not want to get close to, okay? But I was sitting like 10 meters away from them, which is like, fuck, how much is that in feet? Probably I won't want to calculate that. But yeah, it's horrible. But like I was sitting decently close to the colonel guy who's doing the lecture, and there's this one part where you know for a fact it's fucking bogus, alright? There's one part where he said, so we truly care about the people who are serving for our militaries. So, and it also understands that the transportation issues and like to go from your deployments back home has always been a struggle for everyone around. So that bit of fun's always going to wear people who are in the militaries and cannot take part-time jobs in those times. So we have our very much important... I want to give you word by word for it, okay? So we have this particular policy that's very much catered to the people who we're truly concerned about, is that once you finish 3 months of service 200 kilometers away from your hometown, we will benefit you a half price discount once in your transportation fee. So let me get this straight, alright? In order to get that one-time half-price discount in your ticket home, you need to serve for 3 months in the military, in a row. And it doesn't even cover back and forth. It's one trip. It's not back and forth. You get 1/2 discount. He said it so confidently that I genuinely, like, I thought I whispered in my breath, what the fuck are you on about? But like, it turns out I said it out loud. Like, it was literally like this, alright? Let me put my microphone away so you can hear, like, the volume of it. What the fuck are you on about? That was the volume that I did. And the colonel, like, just like looked to the left, but because we all looked the goddamn same, and we're wearing masks, so he didn't know who it was that said that, because like the general directions to have like 20 to 30 people 20 to 30 cadets that are sitting at the general direction where I was sitting. So he couldn't just, like, you know, scold the entire part and then just stop the lecture as a whole. So he just kind of moved on with a frown on his face. And I was like, oh shit. It's your chance to escape and never come back. Damn, they really do be throwing in the big bills. Oh yeah. And there's another thing that was fucking funny about is that he also said another thing about a transportation discount is that, like, he says in such a confident voice that, like, you definitely, like, you can feel the illusion in his voice that he genuinely believes that's a good thing, right? Like, even like captains and lieutenants within my fucking squadron knows that most of the shits that we have here as so-called benefits are fucking bogus. But he genuinely believes that's an actual good thing. He says, and I quote, "Once you finish your 6 months of deployment service, we generously benefit you with a $20 bonus for your transportation back if your hometown exceeds 60 kilometers of transportation, and you get $10 bonus if yours is within the 60 kilometer threshold." And I was like, huh, it's $20. $20. You know how much a fucking high-speed, like, rail costs? Ticket costs? It's like, holy shit, this guy is so disconnected from the modern world that he probably has his own fucking suit in the middle of the barracks. My Shinto is already emotion arrested. Oh my god, that's true. Shinto literally just donated. Shinto literally just donated 20 bucks. Before that, that's fucking ridiculous. How's it going, Russell? How have you been there? I'm back temporarily. I'll be gone again until next weekend. And I was like, do you even believe in the shit that you're talking about? Did you hear what you said? And I only was a captain, not even a colonel. So like, you know, let me put, hold on. Okay, let me see, cause I didn't really have like the rank on the top of my mind. Let me see. There it is. Okay. Yeah. So our squadron officer is a, let me see. Is a chief warrant officer too, and he oftentimes talk about how bullshit it was for him to sign, and he would have like not signed to get into the military, like hadn't he got a chance again 20 years ago. But he's in too deep now because how much rank that he has. He's been paid way too much to get out of there and try to find a job just the same as that, you know. Do you at least know the paycheck for the ranks on the airport service? Again, I'll probably be like private class 1 during that time when I was in the military. Private first class or specialist during that time. I won't even be able to get up to the corps side. So, if I remember correctly, it's like 200 bucks per month. It's not that much. Yeah, 200, like 250 USD per month. So again, as I said, if I calculated correctly, I would have been like flat out broke. Flat out fucking broke by the end of that. So far I'm still a cadet, so yeah, not much more than that. What do we learn from that? You could serve me. You have more generous in your army, and I could even throw a bonus here and there. I would love that. Anyway, thank you so much for the 8 months. What was I gonna say again? Oh yeah, so like, my endurance to bullshit and like my lack of like, I can withstand a lot more bullshit. That I would normally react a lot. A few weeks ago. Had it not been for the service, yeah. Because this is how much bullshit I have to go through during the times that I'm there. Yeah, so that's a good thing. And physically speaking, by the way, there's one more thing that I'm actually decently good at, is that my stamina has gone up like exponentially. My stamina, like I used to get like gas out very fast, because I never work cardio, but I have to run 3K every single day, every morning, for the past 3 weeks. So yeah, my stamina is considerably a lot better now because the runs are always horrible. The runs are because we have to run at 5 in the morning, and during that time there's no sun, so the air's still cold, the wind's still blowing, and the cold air that complements the hills and the ridge that you have to run up to really kills your stamina as soon as it goes. So the first few days was hell. It was fucking hell. So thank God I was able to go through that. My cardio is considerably better now. You'll not faint on your next good night. Jesus. I get gas out very fast. It's called farting. What do you think? I'm a fucking jet? Your throat is low-key fucked by the cold air because your nose alone can't provide enough O2. Yeah, true. And because of all the cold and all the cold wind that you always get runny nose. So my nose hasn't been like clear. It hasn't been clear before, but it's never been clear now. For a long goddamn time. But yeah, it's awful. It's awful. But yeah, so those are the few drawbacks and shits that I have to go through. It's not good. It's not good at all. But I was able to improve a lot of the few things that I get to improve as soon as I get my minds in. Not that everyone has the same one track mind when it comes to stamina and Nious. I mean, my stamina was good before. I like my record is like a few hours or so. I don't remember how much it was. I was boot camp. How about hell? Huh? How about hell? I was going to Alex. Yeah, you weren't there during the end of that stream, but well, now I'm back. So get used to me with that dissing on me because it's gonna be on me until I at least grow my hair back. So it's gonna be here for a few weeks. So get used to it. Yeah. But anyway, what was I thinking again? Yeah. So those are the few things that I've learned and I've gone through, and man, am I tired. I said hi, but you didn't reply to it. Sorry, I was busy talking. Kind of whole job, man. Sorry. How's it going there, Alex? How have you been there? Welcome back. I'm a bad person. Yeah, that's what people says. But I'm gonna run through all the shits I've gone through. But yeah, there's a lot of drama in my squadron, man. Did you guys sleep enough in the camp? You know what? How about this? You guys ask me questions and I'll answer them, and after that I'll talk about my schedules and things. But to answer that question, no. The usual sleeping time, the lights out time is 9:50 or 10 in the evening, and you will have to take night shifts 1 hour per day or per weeks because of the lack of people in my squadron. It was like only 100-ish in my squadron, which is a lot less compared to like the usual 200 to 300 before. So yeah, there was a lot less cadets in my batch this time. I mean, my unit. So we each squadron was like average around like 100-ish. There's only like 90-ish people in my squadron. So we have to cycle through and do night shifts every single week. And so far I've done 5 to 6 a.m., 4 to 5, 2 to 3, and I'm about to do 1 and 2 because there's one more shift next week. So the sleep is fucking horrible because of the bunk beds. Like, it feels like the people up top on the bunk are having sex every single night, and like you feel like a massage chair happening whenever you're sleeping. It's feasibly impossible for you to fucking sleep. And even if you get used to the rumbling, right? If your neighbor next to you has allergies or has a cold, tough fucking luck, alright? Because you're gonna be having a fucking bulldozer's engines exhaust aim right at your freaking right ear. I am not fucking joking, folks. I'm so misfortuned that the cadet next to me, let's call him Bull. No, let's call him Otis. No, you know what? No, he's not Otis. Let's call him Bull. Bull is a 5'5" or like 165 centimeters tall, and somehow grayed out air 22-year-old. Okay, let's call him Bob. He's like stout, but he's not fit, alright? He's not fit. And I have stories about him by like fucking by the pages, alright? In my journal, I at least wrote like 6 to 7 pages just about it. just about him. He is a freaking specimen. Gray hair at 22. Yeah, I like... At the first few weeks, like at the first few days, I was genuinely thinking that he's either autistic or he has Asperger's, or he just genuinely doesn't, like he's just antisocial, right? Like there's got to be something that was wired wrong inside of his brain to talk like that. But man, Bob is a freaking specimen. If only I have my journal right now, I would tell you guys, I want to list it out all the things that he has done. But holy shit, I can probably tell you about a few things that he hasn't. I have in my mind, but Bob has a tendency to have a fucking bulldozer's exhaust aimed at me and went on full force with the fucking engine and it snores every single night, and he falls asleep so much faster than anyone else. Like it takes me like 40 minutes to an hour to fall asleep every single day. During my time in basic training, the fucker falls asleep in 5 minutes. And if you don't fall asleep before him, tough luck, because he won't allow you to sleep afterwards. His snore is not to be heard at the end of the fucking hallway, with the door closed. You know how ridiculous that is? That his snore is probably like louder than 95 decibels. Like I feel like my ears are ringing every single night, every single morning when I woke up. If I'm not wearing earmuffs, it's not possible for me to sleep. Okay, sorry for the sudden burst, but like, holy shit, Bob is ridiculous. How's it going, Yi-Chen? You came by at a convenient time. Have you seen a guy who can fall asleep not only within 5 minutes, but he can sleep sitting down, standing up? That's to me. Oh, that's also Bob. But Bob snores in every occasion. You seem to be describing my brother and mother. My brother and mother falls asleep in 5 minutes, and I have to constantly tell my mom to stop snoring because I can hear it from the other room. Does it sound like he has sleep apnea? No, he just doesn't clear his fucking throat. He always like snores up. He never clear, like, okay, if I want to talk about my sleep, I have to talk about how ridiculous Bob is. But like, I'll have to leave that later because there's a lot of intricacy and a lot of things that complement each other when it comes to my sleep schedules. But I sleep, on average, 3 to 4 hours a day. And I have to be awake from 6 in the morning to, 10 in the evening. Yeah, I had to switch back from military time because I have my watch on my on military time. You should probably have it checked out. He should, but he wouldn't because he's Bob. All right, he wouldn't. He fucking wouldn't. So yeah, I sleep on average 3 to 4 hours a day, if I'm lucky. If not, I went through half a week last week on 2 hours to 1 hour of sleep every single day. So the sleep is not nice. The bunk bed feels like a freaking massage chair. There's a bulldozer next to me, and if I'm not lucky enough, the guy on the left side is also going to be breathing heavy. And because it's cold weather, so everyone's getting cold, everyone's getting runny nose, so everyone's snoring now. So even the people who are not snoring before, it was also snoring. Try this. Once Bob snores, pour some water in his mouth. You can't get rid of the snore, but the water is good soundproofing materials. Yeah, if you want. If you want a Bob that ran cold in the morning and also a fucking court-martial, then go for it. You should have those snore filter contraption. He should have his fucking like breath taken away from him. I do not wish him to die, but I wish him can stop breathing during his freaking sleep. Holy shit. The cold weather won't last for too long. I hope so. But I mean, thankfully my basic training is ending soon, so thank God. So you can tell just how much I was going insane during those few days. That's why I have to numb it down for myself. Automatically, like without my own permissions. My body was like on fight or flight every single day. like because of the lack of sleep. Being hungry is one thing. Being hungry can make you go insane, but being like sleepy every single day and never be off the stress can kill you more than it is. Look, thankfully you chose fight. You know, okay, so because of how the bump back slide, right? Bob snores so bad that during one of the nights, he started snoring again, right? And whenever he starts snoring at some point, if he's going at some point where it sounds like his engine is stalling, like it sounds like if it sounds like that, then there's no way of sleeping, right? So I will like I'll elbow him for a little bit, and he'll wake up and then like change a posture for a little bit, and I got a little bit of window to fall asleep. But yeah, if his motorboat is stalling, I will try to wake him up for once. There's this one time where he's passing the fucking sound barrier. He's going supersonic. And that point I elbowed him, but this time, that one time, he went, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What?" Like, he never does that. The next morning, I was talking to the person next to Bob, at the other end, and it was a guy that I talked to quite a bit because he's also quite fluent in English. So I was talking to him quite a bit. And he said that last night he also elbowed Bob, and I was like, "Wait, did you hear him say what the fuck?" And he said, "Yeah." So in pitch darkness, me and the guy next to Bob synchronize elbowing Bob at the same time. Because of how loud he is. That hence the what the fuck. During that. Can tell about your country, but for my EXP, got a computer is a motherfucking good thing and to have if you want to work for an officer. And working for an officer usually help you avoid heavy duty chore. Well, I'm already on the more senile system, so it's not that bad. Attack from both sides. Yeah, they're like fucking deservedly. But in terms of sleep, I have no sleep. In terms of sleep, we have no sleep. I also have a bald head too, so really helps right now with the quote. Yeah, so you know, let's talk about Bob. All right, let's talk about Bob. Bob is the type of person that you cannot hold a conversation even if you want to. He's literally so antisocial that he's not antisocial, no. He's literally unsociable. Let me simulate a conversation that I have with Bob in the beginning of my basic training, because like once you line up for the squadron unit numbers, you are basically stuck in that number for the next until the end of the basic training. So you have to get really used to the people around you, because they're the people who's going to be either helping you or grouping with you, right? So and the first time I was getting you and I was trying to be socialized, you know. I was trying to socialize other people around me so I can get more acquainted with them, so we can be friends and we can, like, you know, have good relationship with each other, so we can help each other for a bit. I started my conversation with Bob when Bob sat down next to me in the health checkup in the first day. We sat down and an officer in front of us mentioned that, okay, so right now we're going to do a health check. Make sure to take off your clothes, your socks, and then put on the robe with just your underwear on, all right? And make sure that you have no clothes on you so that we can keep this process fast. Don't take anything on you, just put on the robe and then stay clear. And then he goes away. As soon as that finishes, Bob, in a transcendent glare to the distance, focused back up, look at the officers walking away, and then look back to me, and then ask, "What are we doing right now?" And I generously said, "Oh, you didn't hear? Okay, don't worry. Just like take off all your clothes, and then don't make sure to not take your underwear off, all right? And put on that robe." And then he said, "Okay." little did I know that what are we doing is gonna be a nightmare in the next 3 weeks or so. He took off his clothes and then took off his underwear. Keep in mind, there's like 400 of us all circling each other's in underwears, and he's the only one like butt naked. And then he take all his clothes off and then just become naked for like a solid 15 seconds, and with a blank like stare into the abyss, and then just like turned back to me again and then said, "What are we doing again?" And I said, "The robe, put it on, and also put back your underwear. Like, put your underwear back on, bro. Like, keep your underwear back on. You can keep it back on." So he goes, "Okay." He goes back, found his underwear within the bunch of pants and the clothing that he has, just throws in the pile because he just doesn't fold any of his clothes. And he comes back with the underwear without the robe and put back the underwear, and then stare into the darkness again, like stare into nothingness again for another 15 seconds, and then looked back to me again and then said, "What more do we need to do?" And then okay, listen. At this point, picture this: there's like 400 of us in the stadium, and 399 people have a underwear on with a freaking like checkup robe on us. Every one of us looks the goddamn same. He's the only one who was like butt naked before 30 seconds ago, and now he's the only one with underwears on with nothing but a pants on. And now he's asking, without looking around himself, that he needs to put on the fucking robe. And I was like, okay, put on the robe. Just go find your robe and put on the robe. And then he goes, okay. He goes back on and put on the robe backwards somehow because he watched so many movies, so his butt cheeks is out. And this is just day one, by the way. This is just day one. So we're gonna go into his patterns and things, okay? Because he has like obviously glaring patterns that he has that it's gonna become very, very apparent as it goes. So he goes around and then wears the robe backwards. Got scolded by the officer while walking by to get a health checkups, and then fully stripped himself naked and forgot to take his clothes. So because the reason why we have to be on our underwears and be on our in a robe is because we have to like take all our clothes off and then like get checkups to see if there's any like skin tags or any infectious things that might infect other people within the military, right? Because you don't know how people are outside of this places. And plus, like for example, some HIV and syphilis also manifests within skin. So once you see like the skins, you will probably know like the status of most people. Anyway, so we have to do that checkup. And he took off his clothes during the checkup and then forgot to take back his clothes. He walked out of the freaking checkup station completely butt naked again. Got scolded by the officer again. Went back. Did the entire process of putting on his underwear and then forgetting the robe again, and then going back and then taking his robe back and then putting it on backwards again, and then walk back to his fucking locations. Got lost. And then it took like 5 minutes in the stadium just to reach back next to me. I don't even think he's sentient. I genuinely think he's just like I don't know what's going on inside of his brain. Genuinely. He's a comic relief for the squad. I mean, in a good, yeah, but like, don't be next to me. Like, if he's like a few 100 numbers away from me and I can hear his stories, and that's gonna be fucking funny, but he's gonna be next to me for the next weeks. He's as dense as a motherfucker. You're gonna newly train AI. I sped mates. Don't be next to me. Yeah, like, you can be all the trouble in the entire fucking squadron, but don't be next to me and affect me. You know? He's just silly. Oh yeah, he's silly, alright? Let me tell you. He's so much more than that. So, beginning from here, you will slowly but surely realize one pattern. First of all, he has a continued issues with understanding commands, and he's always unable to hear anything in the first try. So whenever there's some sort of explanation of a certain instructions by an officer or some sort of trainee or some sort of trainer or some sort of instructors, he will never be able to understand it in the first time. And once we need to exercise that certain instructions, he'll always have to listen to someone else for instructions. And if you give him more than one particular process, if it's a 10-step instructions, you have to give him one at a time. One at a time. If you give him two at a time, he will never remember the second one, let alone the third one. So you have to, like, his mind cannot process one fucking number, more than one number at a time. So you have to give him one particular instructions, make sure that he does it right, and then do the next one again. So this is the patterns, okay? How common is the casualties in your training? Because I have a long time solution. Not that high, so it will be hard to not look like a planned homicide. I got water. Bob mine was hit hard by RAM prices. Oh, he's also affected hard by the Nvidia price raise, because he cannot picture shit. So the first day, I already feel like he's off, alright? Because like, I can never continue a conversation more than just a few sentences. Like, for example, right? Because like, you know, it's all dudes. Dudes like to tease each other and have these you know, tough luck stuffs. Like, in the beginning, I immediately saw that his hair is considerably more grayed out than us, right? So I was like, "Hey, how old are you? 45?" So you know, as a joke, because I'm like probably the oldest person in the entire unit. So I was like, "Hey, dude, how old are you? 45?" And he was like, "No." And he just walked away. And I was like, "Bitch!" I even given like the little look, you know, that look where it's like, hey, come on, I'm making fun of you, just like clap back, come on. But he's like, no. And he just walked away. Like, there's a few screws either like loose or squeeze into places where it shouldn't be. It's like a drunk person trying to plug the fucking charger into the wall and couldn't find it, so he just pokes the two prongs into the goddamn wall. It's like I don't know what's inside of his brain, like what's going on in there, because there's clearly nothing in there. So but also not thinking about it. No. There's also something that's very ridiculous about this, is that his brain actually works. But we'll get to that in a bit. So in the first few days or so, we are we'll be set in, do some paperwork and get our insurance plan in, so that if there's casualties and if there's incidents within the army, they'll be able to compensate and react to those things and incidents accordingly, right? And we have to do a lot of settling things down. There's a lot of rules about like how to place the stuff inside of your box. You know how, you know, there's bunk beds, and there's that utility box in the front. You have to like put in your shoes on the bottom right. You have to put in like the clothes on the bottom left. On the top left, your canteen right next to your shoes, and then like the how to fold your blankets, how to fold the mosquito nets. You have to learn all of those things, right? And the first few days or so was a pain in the goddamn ballsack, because every single time when there's a thing to learn inside of those freaking rules, he has to ask me about it constantly. So like, I have my notes, by the way, and I have to like draw 2 copies of the notes of all the rules that you have to, all the orders that you have to put in to not get your points deducted or get punished by the lack of your orders within your stuff. and then give it to him after the first few days of training on all those things. And the first day was hell, because Bob sleeps next to me, as I said. The first day was 10 degrees in the evening, if I remember correctly, and it's decently cold. And our usual sleeping and our usual showering outfit that we'll wear to go to sleep is a very thin undergarment with shorts. And the first few days we're only set to wear like that, so nobody ever really asked whether or not we can wear other clothes and stuff, right? So all of us in 10-degree Celsius climates, we're all wearing shorts and very thin tops, shorts tops during those times. A lot of us got sick, and Bob is really, really, really not good at handling the cold. So in the first evening, he didn't sleep at all. He spent the entire, and I mean entire, 8 hours from 10 in the evening to 6 in the morning, rumbling and switching positions in his bunk. And because of how much he does, despite the fact that his bunk is next to mine, but because of how close we are, it somehow was able to bump into mine. So when the guy in the top bunk, I'm in the bottom bunk, conveniently, in character, right? I'm in the bottom bunk. When the person on the top bunk is rolling around the places, the entire bunk is swinging back and forth. All right, it's swinging back and forth. But because Bob is next to me, his bunk is knocking into mine. So I was getting this interval every single fucking hour of the first day. So I was like, what the fuck was that? I woke up the next day, like stun locked. Not the movement. What are you thinking? But yeah. The second day when I woke up, I was like, dude, I got any sleep? And he, of course, Bob being Bob, he sat up, sniffled a bit, and then he said, no, I'm cold. He said it like I owe him money. Like, I was like, bitch, you like, I couldn't give two shits about your cold situation, but like, how the fuck did you not, like, how? So I was like, bro, just put on a coat or something. They don't check the bunk, all right? Just go put up a coat next this evening and try to sleep after that. If it's not heavy enough, just put on a coat on. But our clothes hasn't been taken away yet, so you can probably wear those, and they're not gonna check you anyway. And he's like, okay. Fast forward to that evening, he wore every single coat that was given to us. That was 3, by the way. We got the uniform coat. We got the standard issued service coat, and then we got a coat for sporting situations. So he put up all 3 coats, somehow still leaving his fucking tidy whities on the bottom. By the way, he has a tendency to not wear a short to go outside to shower, and sometimes he even forgets to wear underwears after he showers. So like this motherfucker is like, actually, like, I don't get it. I don't get him. The part of the reason why I was so jaded before is because if I turned my brains on and even came close to the context and the contact of Bob, my mind would have been like fried because of how much nonsense they were. He loves the breeze. Yeah, he couldn't sleep in it. Sounds like he never gained consciousness at the age of 5. It definitely feels like it. But like he was in 3 different coats, including his and his ready to sleep in his tidy whities. He sleeps, and I was like, okay, finally, he's not gonna be rolling anymore. The first 3 minutes, he actually didn't roll at all. I was like, oh, my saving grace, actually get some good sleep. Because one of the few things I was really concerned about in the military was that I probably won't be able to get enough sleep, and sleep is very important. If I don't get enough sleep, I won't be able to focus on the lectures, I won't be able to focus on the trainings, and I'll get points deducted, and I won't be able to finish basic training, right? So I was like, I gotta have to get enough sleep. So I also prepare earmuffs and shit. And lo and behold, the 5th minute mark hits, and the engine sets off. The bulldozer engine runs hot. The motor began running. The pistons began pushing. The airs began to cycle within the system. And the snoring has begun. The engine has been turned on. The motherfucker's snore became increasingly louder by the seconds. By the 10-minute mark, it was so unbearable that someone actually thought that someone was fucking dying outside. One of the seniors went back in to check. Why is it so loud? Lo and behold, it was the one fucking guy's snore. Bob was sound fucking asleep. He's sound motherfucking asleep. And he was the only person who slept that night. The entire room didn't survive that night. None of us got any sleep. We all woke up with a black eye, with eye bags under our eyes. And the fucker has the audacity to ask, hey, did you got a good sleep last night? I almost feel like he just purposely snore at me just for that shit. It feels like a backhand fucking compliment. But seriously, why was he sent to the service? That's my question! He shouldn't! He shouldn't! He wouldn't even pass the fucking IQ test! When it comes to the mental check, he definitely doesn't have a mental of a fucking mature individual. Is he trolling? I wouldn't think so, but he's so serious sometimes. And I was like, what the fuck? So, his conversations never went more than 5 seconds. And I tried to engage in conversation with him for the first 3 days or so. I realized it was futile after the 3rd day. And because of all the fatigue I was feeling because of the lack of sleep, I was genuinely so fed up with all the shits. By that point, I was so stressed that I almost got anxiety attacks just waking up in the morning. And by that point, I was like, fuck it, you know what? Let me just focus on the other person. The other person, let me just call him Legna. I'll call him Legna. It's a backwards for angel, because it feels like my right shoulder is a fucking devil. The left shoulder is my angel. The person next to me was a guy that's called Legna. Legna is a master degree scholar, what was it? Engineer. He is very good at studying, and he's also a very observant person. So a lot of times I'll have to like a lot of times when I was confused about a lot of commands, I often comes to him, and he will explain about a lot of things to me, as just as I explained it to Bob, you know. And he's also very competent in a lot of things. So like when it comes to instructions, when it comes to pair up things, because of the number of situations, Legna is always with me. So he's a very competent and very safe choice. So I was focusing a lot on Legna more than I was on Bob, because I don't want to face Bob anymore. So there's a few days after the 3rd day that I was literally like giving cold shoulders to Bob, because fuck Bob. Shouldn't you Scrogen or Lee do something about it? Like do it a pour so he could be discharged ASAP. The issue is, we are treated less than the fucking animals in the fucking military, alright? Once you're in, there's no way to correct that. And also a reason for that, which I'll touch on later, which is a little bit more serious afterwards. But yeah, there's no way to get rid of them at all. There's no way. No fucking way. But yeah, what was I saying again? Oh yeah, so there's a few days I was giving cold shoulders and I was not even like engaging conversations with Bob because there's no reason to, right? Like, you don't, like, he doesn't chat, he doesn't talk, he's always sleeping during lectures, he's always not listening during trainings. There's no reason to like converse with him. Even if you converse with him, he's always guaranteed to ask you like it feels like he's never sentient sometimes, because if you wanted to talk to him, you have to repeat the same word twice. He never gets in the first time. So like there are a few times when I was like, hey, how's it going? And he'll go, huh? And I'd ask again, how's it going? And he'll go, yeah. And I'll go, really? Nothing much? And he'll go, huh? like it feels like you need to give him two, like you need to give him 2 copies of each things for him to fucking understand things. He genuinely never responds to any messages in the first try. It's baffling just how ridiculous, like how he's able to live to the age of 22. I feel like Darwin's gonna kill him. Like, I feel like Darwin should have eliminated him from this freaking society like 5 years ago, you know? It doesn't sound like a functioning human being. So, I was there's a few days when I was trying my best to stay away from him so I can regain some of my sanities. And there was that time when Bob had an awakening. Bob realized that I was spending a lot less time trying to approach him, and a lot of the people around him has been keeping distance from him because he's just a freaking freak, right? So Bob decided to pick up my way of like approaching people, which is a lot of like teasing and charismatic sounds like horrible, but like I was always trying to be like this, like the snarky guy when I was approaching other people. He tried to be the snarky, like he tried to approach other people with the snarky thing, but he just doesn't get social cues, so he doesn't know how to do it. But it's like when Andrew Tate was like first getting fame, and there's a bunch of like betas trying to sound like alphas, but they never got the charm that Andrew Tate has. Like, as much as you can talk about how horrible a person Andrew Tate is, he's got the charm, right? He's got the charm. But like, there's just a bunch of people who like imitates him without the charm. Bob sounds like me without any sort of fluency with the speech, right? As much as I'm very much of a uncharismatic person, I have way more riz than Bob ever would. But Bob trying to sound like me. So the next few days or so, there's a continuous time when Bob mumbles something within his breath, laugh to himself, and then never explain it afterwards. But like, he expects you to react to it. He expects you to laugh with him. So if you don't laugh with him, he's gonna be angry afterwards. So okay, there's an interaction that I have with him during those times that I can literally just tell you, and you wouldn't get what's going on. All right, we were in a lecture about emergency medical services. So we were taught how to treat wounds and do CPRs and how to do like defibrillator things, right? How to operate a defibrillators and how to make sure people come back to life during cardiac arrest. And throughout the lecture, we were talking about like the past experience those instructors had, and I think we mentioned something about rushing through a mountain highway to get to a hospital quick because a person's had a cardiac arrest outside of the hospital. We call them OCA, right? Anyway, as they were talking, Bob, under his breath, went, highway. And I was like, what? and he repeated again, highway. I was like, and then I asked, like a normal person, what do you mean highway? What does that mean? And he said, nah, nothing. And he just looked away. And I was like, brother, what? Huh? Like, what? Oh my god. So, that's him. That's him. For a week. Trying to redeem, like he was on his redemption arc. Trying to win back mine and many other people's hearts, I guess. I don't fucking know. Just trying to sound like he's snarky or shit. And it just doesn't work. And he's also like, there's also some times where some, like, if there's something funny in the lectures, people will laugh, right? So like sometimes the tension is not that high during the lectures, so people will like joke around and laugh and things. Bob never laughs at jokes before this, but after he started to hit his redemption arc, he began to like laugh at things that you know for a fact that he literally just saw other people laugh, so he laughed. Like his laugh is always so insincere and always lags back, right? So it's so weird. It's so weird when he's laughing. I remember this one video that we saw as instructors where it's like the instructor was trying to prove that or trying to explain how long you can live despite having adrenaline in you when you get hit by a bullet in your trachea. Like if you got hit on your neck, and how long you can live. It's like around 30 seconds. And the proof was a CCTV footage of a robbery gone wrong, where a security guard shot the robber on the neck, and the guy wasn't able to go out of the doors, the revolving doors, before he just bled out inside of that revolving door. It was a very gnarly shit. And okay, here's my how do you call these? Here's my 2 cents about why he's laughing. Till this day, I don't know why he's laughing. So when the robber was hit in the neck, his trachea was hit. He's not trachea. His carotid artery was hit, right? And the blood was just spewing on the right, on the white wall, on the white wall and the white floor. It was like the CCTV footage was completely like black and white, and you can see the blood very, very, very vividly on the floor, and the pattern of the blood spewing looks like a penis, I guess. Like it looks phallic, right? Because of he's like running around the places trying to dodge and shit while holding his neck, right? And like as he was struggling and the blood was pouring out, and it like kind of goes, like the blood on the floor kind of paints a phallic object. And as the guy slowly but surely dies on the floor, Bob just started laughing hysterically. Like I feel like I'm in a movie with him. Like I feel like an extra in this fucking movie. He just started laughing maniacally. Like I don't understand. It's genuinely like terrifying during that time. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you sure he's not a sleeper agent? I don't know anymore. No, he's a sleeping agent. That's what he is. How's it going, Squiddy? How have you been there? It's been a long time. I'm back. I'm talking about Bob, the neighbor cadet that I have, who is a fucking hell to go through. He's a psychopath, I know, because I also sometimes laugh at people getting into accidents or doing stupid crap that leads to their death. No, he's not laughing at people dying. He's laughing at the blood and looking at a penis on the floor. But like no one was like the problem is there's a guy dying, right? If he's laughing at the robber dying, if he's laughing at a criminal dying, then he's probably sociopathic or psychopathic. I don't know. But that at least explains it. But like, he's laughing at a phallic object. So like, does he just not like compute the same way as normal people? Is that what's happening? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Come on, he's a guy. Guy laughs at peepees. Yeah, we laugh at peepee under appropriate situations. Not that. You know? So, like, Bob was a nightmare to go through, and he still was. I can't explain just how many times he have to, like, how many times I instructed him to do shit. He seems like a chill guy. He's a chill guy if you only see him like once in a day. Alright? Like, he's the type of person that if you see him once in a day, you will think he's like the funniest person alive unintentionally. But like, if you have to see him every single day, including when you're sleeping, the notion of stopping his breathing so that he no longer becomes a nuisance has become also apparent within my sleep. I am publicly like I'm publicly explaining trying to kill someone right now because of how fucking angry I am not thinking back. The guy is a specimen to go past to. I don't know how in a fucking hell this guy is remotely functional. Also chill, his brain sometimes stop working. Sorry, not sometimes. Yes, always. You'll miss Bob later. And if he's like a fallen idiot, then I would've get it. You know, I would've get it. If he's like a fallen idiot, I would've get it. But there are times when he's a freaking genius. I don't know how, but he remembers like a bunch of small details. Sometimes unnecessary and necessary details that almost nobody remembers most of the times. So, for example, there's a standard procedure they have to go through when it comes to CPR. You need to make sure that the CPR doesn't cease for more than 10 seconds, and you need to make sure that a person gets some sort of health or some sort of breath within his systems within 4 minutes, or else his brain's gonna suffer some damage. These are all the procedures that you have to understand when you're giving people CPRs and make sure that they don't, you know, die from a cardiac arrest, right? So the standard procedure is a normal person will breathe upwards of 2 times in 10 seconds. So around like 6 to 10 in a minute. And you need to assess that within 10 seconds because, you know, every second counts if a person loses his consciousness. Consciousness is very important because if one person loses consciousness, there's a very high chance that they may not be breathing. So whenever that happens, you need to make sure that he's breathing. If he's not, then you need to check his pulse. If his pulse is also not there, then that means he's in a cardiac arrest. If his pulse and when you link up the defib and his heart rate is going like all over the places, then that means he's going to shock. So at that point, you'll need to start the CPR to manually restart his heart, right? To pump in blood, to give an oxygen back to his rest of his body. So the procedure is that you have to give him breath every 6 seconds to basically simulate the process of breathing, to give him air whenever you give him CPR. So you have to give him 30 CPRs and then 2 pumps of breath per sessions, and you have to do that five times. and then check the pulse again, check everything again. If he doesn't have a pulse, if he doesn't have breath, give him breathing again. If his pulse is back, then you don't need CPR anymore, you know? It's all these procedures and things. We were taught all these things on the 4th day of our lectures and in the beginning of the basic training. A few weeks later, we have to do a final exam about all the stuff in a written test. And I forgot about that fact where you have to do that manual breathing in 6 seconds per pump thing. So I don't remember how to do it, and I asked Legna about it, and he also didn't remember because there's so much to remember, right? And then as I was talking about this, Bob, like a ghost, like hovered close to me, to my ears, and then said, "You need to pump air 6 seconds a time," and then walked away. And I was like, what? Keep in mind, not even Legna remembers this. I don't remember this either. I asked so many other cadets, none of the people remembered it. And he remembered it. I was like, there's no fucking way that's it, right? That sounds so like ridiculous. So I double checked with one of the lecturers. I was like, hey, so what happens if the person after the CPR reps done, after the 5 reps done, you can feel the pulse, but there's no breathing. What do you do after that? And the lecturer goes, oh yeah, you just give an air every 6 seconds. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, he remembers it. he remembers it. He remembers it. Pretty sure he has a condition close, if not Asperger's. I like my final like judgment is that he does have Asperger's. I think it is. Like, it's gotta be that, because I don't know how, like, I couldn't explain. It's not autism. I know for a fact it's not autism. He's functioning sometimes, so he doesn't have low IQ. But like, he's so antisocial that it feels like there's some sort of things going on in him. But he's not sociopathic either, right? There's not a screws loose when it comes to like, when it comes to humanity, no. But like, he's so detached to normal human behavior that I don't feel like he's any bit but unwell. Yeah, it's gotta be Asperger's. I don't know, but yeah, he hasn't shown his set of fixation yet. Because doesn't Asperger's people with Asperger's have some sort of fixation within his stuff, and it's like similar to autism, right? But like, I might be autist, a level 1 support. Would you say that I have that? No. Shit. Where's my K-drama peeps too? Wu Yang Wu, right? Oh yeah, I saw that just then. Oh my god. But like, he's so out of it constantly, and his antics doesn't end there, by the way. I skip a lot of things that he does. So here's a few things as a small segment about him. So I'll give you a few things I can remember from the top of my mind. So we have to fold. There's a particular way that we have to fold our mosquito nets and our blankets that was taught only once on the 2nd day of the basic training, and you either know it or you don't know it. So on the 2nd day's evening, he asked me how to fold a mosquito net because he was clearly not listening, right? I taught him once. He was confused, and I was like, okay, sure. So I taught him again, and he said, okay, I got it. And then he proceeded to fold the mosquito net completely wrong and the blanket completely wrong 3 nights in a row without asking me anything about that. And then on the 4th night, because of how much punishment he's got from the lack of order within his stuff, he started to steal the folded stuff from the top bunk of his place. But because how steep the top bunk is, the first time when he got onto the top bunk, he couldn't get down. So he got stuck on the top bunk. So like the way I found out is that it was during the afternoon. It was afternoon nap rest time, and and I heard like a loud like thumping sound in the side of my ear. I was sleeping because it was nap time. I opened my eyes and I saw two legs on the top bunk. I thought, oh, probably because of the top bunk on Cadet's back. I didn't know him. So I didn't really pay attention to that. After like I don't know how long, it was like 20 minutes after that. I woke up and then I saw the two legs are still there. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I got out and I look up. It was Bob, and I was like, "What are you doing on top bunks?" And he goes, "I want to take the mosquito net up there." I was like, "Isn't that the guy on the tops?" And I was like, and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Okay, sure. So why are you up there?" And he goes, "I'm stuck." So, do you guys remember like? Do you guys know what it looks like when a toddler is eating in like one of those like assisted chair in a dining table, and then afterwards you have to like pick them up by their armpits and then like put them up and then like tap them on the back? I literally have to do that by grabbing him by his fucking armpit and then like slowly but surely descend him downwards and then put him on my shoulder so he has somewhere to rest, and then put him back on the bottom bunk so he can rest, because apparently he got gassed out so much to climb up there that he didn't have any stamina to even go back down anyway. Was he heavy? No, he's not heavy, so I can pick him up like that, but it's oh. So yeah. There's that. And then well, what else is there? Let me think. Oh yeah. So oh my god. Wait, which one is it? Oh yeah, so in one of the classes we're taught to tie a knot, right? We'll all need to learn how to tie a knot so that in emergency situations we know how to use knots and how to tie things up and use ropes. And to tie the knot, you need to have a specific way to do it, right? There's also instructions and stuff, but of course he never fucking listens. So in that class, it took me a while to get to like understand that knot, because the knot was a little bit complicated for me. I only know how to tie a noose, but anyway, when I finished how to tie the knot, I realized that he doesn't know how to tie the knot at all. So he was like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." I grabbed the thing and I instructed him as I do, in my ways of professional tutoring that I do in my off time as a part-time, alright? To teach him how to tie the knot with both angles, instructions and shit. I was trying my best to give him all the instructions, all the things I know about it, all the intricacy about the knots and shit. It was like a full-on lecture that I had to prepare for him. I went through the entire thing, and then he went, "Okay, I got it." That means that he doesn't. And then he proceeded to spend the entire lecture, while the lecturer was talking about something else entirely, by stealing the rope props that was supposed to be taken back after the tying knot lecture thing, and then just stay in the back of the class trying to learn the knot. It was 2 hours worth of sessions. He was learning the knot for 2 hours. He couldn't get it. Like, I don't understand how his brain's wired at this point. He's gotta have some sort of conditions. It's gotta be Asperger's. I don't understand how his brain works. I really don't. But yeah. Okay, it definitely not, for fuck's sake. Fucking get out. Oh my god. his brain, me neither, okay, I'm trying. So, like, I don't get this man. I really don't. I don't know how to, I don't know how to approach him. Like, I'm not the hateful person, okay? I'm not a hateful person. But like, he's really giving me trouble with trying to care for this guy. Because of how hard it is to try to do my own things at the same time cover him, you know? It's like, you know, the unit's called unit for a reason, right? If one of us fails, we all fail. But like, I can't even hold myself up at this point. I have no time to babysit another guy every single time and do things twice. Like, so, like every morning, the reason why I said I never get to sleep 8 hours a day is because of like, because we are basically forced to wake up 1 hour before the morning time, the morning call, which is 6 a.m. in the morning, to fold your stuff, to take down your mosquito nets and then fold them up in the dark, to brush your teeth and things, because after the lights is up, you only get like 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not enough to dress up and do everything, you know. So we always have a code. Well, at least me and Lekna, we had a mutual understanding and a mutual agreement to always wake up at 5 in the morning, so that we can go and first go brush our teeth and then go and fold each other's mosquito net, because the mosquito net is hard to fold by yourself. So I made that agreement to help Lekna to fold his mosquito net, and then he'll help mine. So we had the understanding, but the guy next to Bob didn't even try to converse with Bob, reasonably speaking. So Bob never was able to fold the mosquito net alone, because, you know, you couldn't anyway. So every single time in the morning, after I finish all the stuff that I need to finish and then fold my mosquito net, I have some time to go back and sleep. If I even stay there for a second, looking idled, like I don't have anything to do, he will come by and then tell me to fold it for him. And I'll have to spend another 15 minutes trying to teach him again, every single fucking day. No, Bob is not a fairy nor ogre. Bob is just Bob. He's his own fucking world. Outside the military, Bob will be okay, but not in the military. Yeah, no, he's not suitable for this goddamn environment. Sounds like those unsocial people I know. They're not bad or anything. Some are even smart in some certain fields, but super unsocialized. They don't want to talk to them. Yeah, it's just... He's probably good at his own things, right? I don't want to just like discredit him completely, but in this context, I can't, like, there's no way for me to take care of Bob. Bob is just a lost cause for me. When I got into basic training, my thought, and I had a promise for myself, is that no matter how capable I am, I always keep my nose down, keep my head down, and just go through the basic training. When I was in basic training, immediately someone senior asked, is there anyone who knows Mandarin Chinese? And, you know, me being me, I always go like, yeah, it's me. You know, I can go and help someone, right? I can always go and help translate, because, well, that's what I do. But I resist 3 times in a row to say, hey, I know how to do anything, just so that I can get less businesses. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I have to go away from all the things I know of and all the things I think I have responsibility of, just so I can get, like, I can just go through them in peace, you know? It's not like I don't want it to be responsible or anything. It's just that I don't want it to cause too much trouble for the time I'm here, because it's already turbulent. You know, it's like, I don't want it to get more work than it already is. But then there's Bob. You know, you have to have the patience, you have to have the time, you have to have the effort to put up with Bob. And if you don't put up with Bob, there's gotta be some sort, one way or another, that Bob is gonna come back and bite you in the asshole. Which is to kill my sleep time. We all need a Bob in our lives, as much as an infected root canal, and also like a chicken pox, you know? You get a monkey pox. You get it once in your life, you never had it again. You only got a few more weeks of Bob. Only 5 more days of Bob, thankfully. Only 5 more days. Thank fucking Christ. Bob is there to help you get the patience you need to deal with the public later. That's so true, though. Yeah, I know. Dealing with the public is definitely gonna be a lost cause for that shit, because it's gonna be so much of a. Where's your manager? Like, bitch, I don't like. I work in a freaking. I work for the police. We only got a supervisor shit, okay? It's right next to you. Deal with him. Yeah. So yeah, Bob will remember down in history. Bob is probably the most like there's like only 100 people in my freaking unit, and somehow that one Bob in the unit is next to me. It's awful. At the same time, it's just my luck, I guess. It's just my luck. But yeah, so here are these are the little bit of funny things and the good things to talk about. But now there's gonna be a little bit of a shift in tone. Not as bad as you would think, but like something that happened in our squadron was quite fucked up. Not too fucked up, but like a little fucked up. So in our squadron, this is one guy that doesn't speak a lick of English. He was a immigrant who has our nationalities, and because of the mandatory service and because of the rules and stuff, he was stopped in the border control, not border control, in customs, because they found out that his visa expired. So he was immediately pulled from the airport into the military. So they had to serve as military. He doesn't speak a lick of English, and in this environment, it's awful for him, right? So that's why I said, if there's someone asked if there's anyone who speaks Mandarin Chinese, and I didn't raise my hand. Thank God, it's other people who can. But he's a very unfortunate case. But because of the language barrier, he was having a lot of trouble fitting in and shit. It's honestly like, I feel really bad for the guy. But yeah, but he's trying his best to like fit in and stuff. He was always asking. He's very active. He's helping a lot of people, even though he needs the most amount of help. He is a very, very kind person, and God bless his soul. Let's call him let's call him Albus. How about that? Let's call him Albus. He's a very pure soul. Albie, yeah, Albie. Are you speaking English in the military? Well, okay. You know what? Do you get like to shift a little bit of the narrative just so that my nationality doesn't get exposed? So like, yeah, it's just you know, for the convenience of the narrative, it was just it's English. Albie, yeah, for no, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Albie. Yeah, Albie. So Albie doesn't speak a lick of English. And remember him for a bit, because he's a very important person after this. And in the beginning, the squadron wasn't really like, you know, talkative and things. People are still getting used to the environments. People are still very like downs and still like numb about things and try to endure through day and day things, right? And the first few days was quiet. But after that, a few people started to become a little bit nosy about things, because once they got it to use, they got to know each other, right? So some people got acquainted, some people were friends now, which is decently good. But it also means that a lot of people are a bit like lousy now compared to it was before. So it was fine. It was fine for a bit until. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, it's exactly like that. Oh, well, not exactly, but somewhere along on that. We have to put our blanket first, and then our pillow, and then our net is on the top. It's in different order, but it's very similar to that. Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying again? Oh yeah, so some people got nosy. Some people got a bit like antsy and become a lot more talkative. And that caused quite a few people problem, because there are a few people who are delinquents, who merely got into the service because they were forced to, because, I don't know, systems and stuff. But yeah, there's a part of the group that I like to call the Four Horsemen. These Four Horsemen are like the the catalyst of every misfortune that this entire squadron has. They're always nosy. They always talk back to the instructors. They're causing a lot of issues during classes. They're the type of people that you really don't want to come close to, because it's just genuinely just really like, no. They're the jock in like the 2000s movies, you know, like the high school jocks that tease on the nerds and bully them in those times. And yeah, they're just a nuisance for the entire squadrons. I had to tag you directly, bro. Oh, okay. I'll watch that later. Fuck you. But yeah. So those guys, and turns out our not our captain. Our corporal. The guys who are leading us mostly during the basic training, those guys are also delinquents. So they're just delinquents with authorities basically over us. But because of the chain of commands, and they're also just like really don't want to care too much shit about it. So most of our corporals are just like pretty lenient about a lot of things, but also causes people to come loose with a lot of things as well, not following the rules and such. But the 4 horsemen take it up to the next freaking level. They are so during cafeteria and during lunch meal times, we have a specific few people that we have to that have to go to the cafeteria first, the canteen first, to prep the food for all of us, and then they will just distribute the food after we arrive. And the 4 horsemen are all people who are responsible for that. But they are notoriously bad at their job. They always distribute food wrongly, and during the morning, sometimes they even sleep in. We have to wake up at 6 in the morning, but sometimes when we walk past the rooms, they for some reason are still sleeping with the net on. Like, I walk past their room a few times, and I almost always saw them sleeping in the morning. They're always sleeping in the morning, and they always sleep until like 8 in the morning, until like the captain or the first lieutenant literally went to their fucking room just to scold them back up. But they never get punishment. They never get punishment because all the corporals are, you know, very much similar to them when it comes to being delinquents and such. So the corporals are doing jack shits about that. They're not punishing them at all. And because of how much so-called work that they have to be the cafeteria crew, they were given a lot of lenience, and they're given a lot of bonus points and a lot of time off during compared to other people who are working more than those guys. And it's gotten so much worse that people in their sleeping room in the bunk room started to become so annoyed by them that they became so that they just became like a lot more confrontational after that. And their stuff becomes worse because, first of all, those who smokes in the militaries, we have stable times in like after lunch and dinners where people would take where instructors will take you to go to specific places and smokes, right? But you're not allowed to smoke in the barracks. But because they're tight with the crew, with the staff, they oftentimes get invited into the staff's room, which is not allowed to do, by the way. Normal cadets is not able to go into those rooms, those private rooms for the staffs to go and smokes. And a lot of people often saw them going out with like drinks and stuff, going outside of their rooms, and walking out of the staff's rooms, which means that the fuckers are smoking inside of their places, like being allowed to smoke inside the staff's room because they're tight, giving favoritisms. And they're also smoking in the washrooms when people are fucking taking showers, in the shower rooms when they're taking showers. And there's no way to deal with that because the freaking the corporal who was responsible for the entire squadrons is friendly to them. So the only people who we can complain all these up is them. And once you give in trouble, then the entire squadron suffers, because now the corporal thinks that you are just giving them hard times, giving them trouble. When in reality, you couldn't just been like lenient with everything, just do whatever they want, you know. So like if you were to be the few people who are trying to like make things right and try to file a complaint about this, you are basically dooming the entire squadron's like leniencies and their own like privileges of just doing whatever they want, you know. So like, I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place, because I don't want it to be that one person who would just be like this justice guy who like goes out and complain about things and causing issues and causing like chain of commands to go downwards and try to resolve these issues. But at the same time, the entire squadron is being affected. Hell, like during lights out times, they were running on the top bunks while people were trying to sleep on the bottom. And they're also like bullying other people around. They grab this one very timid guy on their shoulders, pick them back up, and run around the places like a freaking coffin. While the guy was freaking screaming. And the worst part is the staff is laughing with them. And this wasn't even the worst part, by the way. I haven't gotten into it because remember Albie? Yeah, this is when Albie comes in. Albie's timid. He's quiet, he's a nice person, but he also smokes. And most of the times, as I said, normally your smokes, when you take into the barracks, you're been stored into a secure place where only the staff is able to reach to, and it's locked behind the door. And only when they were permitted the time to smoke would they open that cabinet and take those baskets out and give them individually to the people who has smokes, and then take them to the place where they smoke, right? 2 days ago, Albie's smokes went missing. And Albie was really angry about it, because it wasn't just like 1 or 2 cigs. No, it was 3 packs of smokes that went missing. Which is like unprecedented. So that means that someone was able to access the cabinet, which was locked behind a staff room, a secure staff room, to reach to those very expensive like foreign cigarettes that only Albie has. And a day later, in Friday, in Friday, I was tasked to go and clean up the shower room, and one of the seniors took me to it, and I saw in those little gap between the windows, in the window silt, where a bunch of people was actually smoking, secretly smoking inside of the shower room, which is not allowed, by the way. You're not allowed to smoke in there at all. And wouldn't you know it, there's a fucking staff smoking in the back. Right as we're cleaning, I was like, "What the hell is the smell? Is someone smoking?" And I looked to the left. One of the guys was smoking and playing on their fucking phones, which is not allowed, by the way, because you're not allowed to get phones, right? They're all locked in a secure place. So the staff was taking out their own phones, smoking in the back of the shower rooms, and putting out cigarettes in those windowsill gaps. And the worst part is, I started to clear up all those cig butts, because, you know, they're dirty and such, and the entire thing was like ash and shits, and I have to wash my fingers, and it was awful. But then amidst all the cigarette butts I was picking up, I saw at least 6 to 7 cigarettes that are Albie's, which mean and as I was discovering it, one of the cadets that was also responsible for this came by and then said he cleaned this windowsill just yesterday. There was like 30 cigarettes when I saw it. So in a span of a day, the windowsill was filled with at least 2 to 3 packs worth of cigarettes. That means there's more than just a few people that are smoking there secretly. On top of that, someone was smoking Albie's cigarettes. And the only way for them to access it is if they have the key to the staff's cabinet. So there's only 2 outcomes to this. A, the 4 horsemen somehow was able to find the keys from the staff's rooms and opened themselves and stole LB cigarettes. Or 2, the staffs and the Four Horsemen are smoking together, and they intentionally stole the cigarettes from Albie, who doesn't speak English at all, through the helps of the Four Horsemen, because the staff doesn't really know which one is Albie's. So no matter what, the Four Horsemen and the staffs has something to do with that. So at that point, I kind of realized that the entire unit's fucked. Like, the entire chain of command is bullshit, because the people who are above me, the closest one next to me, are like fucked up. They're so messed up. Yeah, they're so messed up. He suddenly became like chemist teachers by chance after weeks combined in the military. Close enough. Yeah, give me Bob. Everyone wants Bob over those Four Horsemen. Yeah, so poor Albie. Yesterday, he was still looking a little bit down yesterday. And I have to like take Albie away to the corner, and I said, hey, look, don't like, I will tell you something about your cigarettes, but like, keep me out of this, okay? I heard something about it, and I got 2 cents of what's happening here. So, like, just talk about this to someone else and probably resolve it afterwards. But yeah, so I tell them about the cigarettes and how I found it in the windowsill, and like the fact that this only correlates to the staff smoking the cigs, right? And he was furious. He was like, why would they do that? And just, you know, he was more depressed than he's furious. And I was like, hey, look, I know that you're sad and all, and just like, if you need any help, go and find a few people that can help you. I really don't want to get into any of these interpolitics and stuff. So it's favoritism and sanctions from the staff to those Four Horsemen that are causing so much trouble to everyone around. And not to mention, because of the if you get sick, you'll need to go out of the barracks to go have a health check. So if you go if you have emergency in your own health, they will send you out in an ambulance. So you'll be skipping out half of the days in the hospital, right? So it's like a one-way trip out, so that you can kind of get like oh shit, Jesus, like a break for yourself. So the Four Horsemen abuse that. Sorry, the Four Horsemen abuse that so much that they always skip lunch or like dinner duties. Lunch duties when they have to go into the canteen to do their duties and then like distribute the food, right? But they always skip it by going to the doctor, even though they're healthy. So they're wasting resources, and they're also leaving all the works to the rest of the crew. So much so that 2 days ago, they basically were absent for the entire day. They slept in until 10 in the morning, and then they called in sick and got sent out by ambulance to the nearby hospital for the entire afternoon. And they only returned at 7 in the evenings to eat fucking bentos in their own room. You're not allowed to eat like anything in the room. You're not allowed to even bring your drinks and stuff inside of the barracks. No food is allowed in there, but they're eating their freaking bentos inside of their own like bunk. While we're outside, like training and doing steps and shit. And that correlates to the dinner. The dinner, the entire cafeteria group was understaffed because of their absence. So much so that when they have to distribute all the plates and stuff, they have to ask the neighbor freaking squadron to come by and help us to pick the freaking things up because they were absent. Like, I genuinely don't understand how the fuck these guys go through all these scopes and shits. They're causing so much grief to us that I honestly feel like if I even get close to any of this, I would have been so pissed about it. But thank God I was so away from there then, because my serial number is a lot like away from them, so I don't need to deal with their bullshits. But I saw so many people angry about these things, so many people complained about it, so many good people trying to just keep the squadron together, trying to make things right. But they're just all affected by these fucking delinquents. And it just... Wouldn't the hospital tell the military about this? What are they gonna tell them? They're healthy? That's it, right? So just send them back. And even if they're healthy, it's a chain of command. The people who knows about this and reporting up, it's the corporals who are also corrupted. So they would have covered for them anyway. It doesn't matter what they do, because whatever they do, if we report it upwards, if you cross your own ranks just to report someone, that's a huge no-no in the military, right? You can't, like if you're a private first class, there's no way you can report something about a sergeant to a lieutenant. Okay, that's not possible. You have to go through the entire process of like complaints and shit, and by that time it's already over. So the process doesn't justify the means to it. You can't just go through like that. So these guys has caused the entire squadron so much grief that I couldn't help but bring myself to just be taken back, you know? Because if I get into this, when we were training for one of the parts in the evening, it was really cold. It was the wind was like a knife stabbing us on our skins everywhere that we go. And we have to train our steps and things in leather shoes and such with no paddings in the bottom. And all of our feet was just full of pain. Some of us are bleeding in our feet. It was really cold. A lot of us are coughing. A lot of us are like almost dying from the freaking cold, while they're sitting there with a fucking heater on, eating bentos. And it only took them like 2 hours until they come back, because we have to wait for them to come back so we can train for the final part of it, so that the entire squadron can finish the entire formation, right? They got back, immediately started a fucking conflict with a bunch of guys. There was like 2 parties of them, the 4 horsemen and a bunch of people who were angry about them. There was like 5 of them who got angry about them. And I was at the corner of the formation because, well, height. So I was blanking out because I was sleepy, my feet hurts, everything was painful for me. I was kind of phasing out because of the pain. And I came back into like sentience when I heard arguments. I was like, what's happening? I looked to the inside of the formation and I saw like a circle of men and just a bunch of people ready to fucking bunch up and just started fighting. Before I know it, I was in between them. I was pushing all of them away and I was trying my best to, like, you know, stop them from arguing. And I remember so vividly while that was happening, of the fucking face of one of the horsemen who are so like relishing within that context, within that situation. He was half smirking and throwing insults at the same time to provoke the guys who were truly angry about them, and I have to push them back and tell them it's okay. You know, it's not fair. Even if it's not fair for me, it's not fair for anyone else in the squadron. And it's so fucked that I have to be in the middle of that just to... And I also have to, like, because I made a promise for myself that I don't want it to cause any more issues than it needs to be in the beginning of the basic training. So I don't want it to, like, snitch on them and shit like that, because I know it wouldn't work, and I don't know. Oh, I'll still live with the 10. I'm gonna leave in roughly 10 minutes, but let this be my personal thanks for coming back for us. Thank you so much, I'll still live. It's good to see you again too, I'll still live. Thank you so much for the super. Yeah. But yeah, That feels bad. Yeah, just... Yeah, the last few days was horrible because of this. Like, people just become a lot more rowdy, and the squadron was basically like torn in half because a bunch of people was truly like, so far there's like three side of things. There's the 4 horsemen who are relishing in this fucking situation in the midst of chaos because the corporals are basically covering the shit. There are the people who are angry about the 4 horsemen who are trying to report it upwards but you know, they can't because the entire chain of commands is corrupt to all hell, and the only person that we can really like report it to is a squad leader, the first lieutenant. But the guy's barely there, and even if we do that, it's also like, you know, causing a lot more ruckus than it need be. So a lot of them also know about this, so they wouldn't really want it to go out with all these process. All they can do is just complain to the other seniors and the other corporals who are also dealing with all these bullshits, who are unaware of this. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are taking care of that, and there's also a part of people, including me, who are just don't want any of this to happen, who just wanted to finish this basic training in one piece, but just couldn't because of all these shit that was happening. But yeah, that was awful. But that was towards the end of the last few weeks, and that really drained me a lot. I feel bad, but I just couldn't bring myself to feel bad because of all the numbness that I feel right now. But yeah, time was tough, and time was tough. That's all I can say. I just realized I haven't even talked about my everyday stuff, but it's really not that important. I can tell you that 40% of my time in there is just learning how to do anything without using my brain at all. It was something like complaining to a brick wall. Yeah, it feels futile no matter what. Everything that you do is just in vain. It just doesn't compute, right? It just doesn't process, doesn't go through. So it just doesn't work at all. You work hard, actually. I'm proud of you. I try my best to do everything that I have to do. I was also because of my position, I was ordered to be the person who's responsible for the laundries. I need to grab the laundry basket of like 100 men's underwear and then all take it back to the laundry room, just throw them in, you know, every single evening. So that's also part of the reason why I wasn't able to sleep that much. It's because I have to carry that out for an hour every single evening. So most of my works means that I have to deduct more time from my sleep. So I usually started to go back in bed and sleep at like 11 in the evening, compared to other people who are already sleeping during like at 10 in the evening. But yeah, that also was a freaking ordeal. Because we were giving these like laundry bag that we have to use so that everyone won't get our underwears mixed up together because it all looks like goddamn same. So we everyone has their individual laundry bag, and we have to write our names on there. In the first few weeks, it was okay, but we also have to we always have to remember to always put the zipper inside of the hiding, the little band that they have, so that the zipper won't cut onto other people's bags, so it won't rip them apart. But I was the only person in the entire staff who were actually going around the places and making sure that everyone's zippers are inside of the band thing. So the first day. When our clothes came back, like outbursts of 20 to 30 people's back got ripped open because none of them checked the zippers. And I was lucky enough to minimize the damage from my responsible few people, the squad mates that I have in my own squads, so that their clothes doesn't get exploding to pieces. But like the first time when I was doing my job, I was like, what do we do now? It was just a laundry bag full of identical clothes. They're only like the only difference is like minuscule differences because they're all like the outfit that they give you in the first day. So everyone closes the goddamn thing, and we have to like summon the entire squadron and come and say, hey, look, listen, this is what happens when you don't put a zipper inside of your bands, okay? Make sure to do it next time. For now, if you're missing your laundry bags, go and get a new one again, and go and pick up whatever underwear that you think see fits for you. Butter, ew. Bro, you have no idea how many underwears I've touched for the past few weeks. If you have a kink for underwears, bro, you are gonna be happy in there, because holy shit, is the smell pleasant. I'm in the winter. I'm serving in the winter. People doesn't really sweat that much during the winter. Imagine it was a summer. Just the smell of the, oh my god, I don't even want to picture that shit. It was already rancid while I was doing my work. Oh god, yeah, no, it's just, and I have to deal with that every single day. And I get like a fraction of the reward compared to the people who are doing the cafeteria and stuff. Even though there was a lot like more demanding, yeah, sure, but still, it's not worth it. It's one of the bonding squad activities. Well, that's a good thing though, because the squad mates who I'm responsible for taking the clothes of, they're decently friendly to me because I actually do my job. Because like here's a more situation that happened afterwards. Because of how many people doesn't do the zipper thing, it's just like some of the time it's still continuously like blown open a lot of people's laundry bags. Unless it's yours. I don't even want to picture what happens if you get to see my laundry basket. I don't, you know what? No, not even want to begin to think of that thought. Oh no, don't let me imagine a summer situation. Yeah, no, I don't even want to imagine that either. So because so many people are still doing the zipper wrong, it's still a lot of issues. But amidst of the laundry issues, one of the squad mates who I'm responsible for, his laundry bag disappears in the first day and it never came back after that. It's not like it's blown open. No, there's no like bag left, and there's no clothing fitting for him either. So which means that his entire like clothing disappears in the first day. I felt bad, so I did give him one of my extra bags that I bought before I got in. And then on the second day, I told him that I make sure that his bag is in there before I threw it in. So I did mention about that, and I did wrote it down that day, so that I'll make sure to check it next time. When it comes back the second day, it disappeared again. So by now, he's missing 2 sets of socks, 2 underwears, and 2 undergarments. Because of that, I was like, bro, man, I'm sorry. I did my job, but like, I'm sorry. I make sure everything's intact when it goes. When it comes back, I couldn't do shit. Okay, I'm sorry. So I personally make sure. I even told one of the seniors, make sure that his clothing bags comes back. Okay, please, for the love of God. Thank God it came back for the 3rd day, but that wasn't one of the issues just yet. Towards like the 2nd week, the laundry company changed because the contract expired. So another laundry company went by to do our laundries after that. And the first day, everyone's freaking clothing bag looks like a rotisserie chicken who's overburnt. Like the keep in mind, all of our undergarments, including the undershirt that you have to wear under, are all cotton based. So if you put it in the dryer and you put it on a high heat, the cotton will shrink, right? It will happen. Cotton will shrink. And when we got back, our socks are like 0.5%, like 50% of the size that it used to be, even though it was a long socks. And our undergarments like 2 sizes smaller because of how hot the dryer was that they're doing. So not just that, a bunch of people's clothing bags got burnt, and some of them even have holes in there. So a bunch of people's clothing blew out again. On top of the mixed combination of people who still doesn't do their freaking zippers thing. So a bunch of people's clothing got burnt. The rest of the people's clothing got shrinked. And a lot of us wasn't able to wear the stuff that they have because it's too small for them anymore. You factor in that you'll lose weight. Yeah, but I won't lose arm length. The XL undergarment that I had before, it's like a fucking M now. It's skin tight after that. So like I talked about, so a lot of people complain about it, including my squad mates who complain about it. I was like, okay, look, I'll handle this. I'll talk about it to the seniors, and they'll probably talk about it to the companies who are responsible for it. And I talk about it to the seniors, and the seniors came by the next morning saying that he got into an argument with the company because they said that they did their job, just like whatever, right? So I was like, oh my god. Do you have any examples? So I gave one of the shrink socks that I have to the seniors so they have examples to the companies after that. It continues to burn for another day until the senior came back the next day and saying that they saw the socks and they said that they'll handle it. So I was like, okay, fine. The next day after they saw the socks, a bunch of people's clothes went back like fully wet. So it's either A, the person was working a dryer, it's like the first day of his fucking job, or B, the dryer's options have one option, have three options. They have off, 10%, and 250%. Like, it's like, as soon as we complain about the heater being too hot, shrinking the clothes and burning some other people's bags, they just gave up on drying it at all. So the bunch of people's the bags came back wet and just like moldy and shit. So a bunch of people's clothing bag got back again to dry again for a second time during that day. So we have to do the job twice to take the clothing bags back to organize them and then give it back to our squad mates accordingly. And it's not even the worst part. So remember when I say moldy? Well, that's the bad part. Some of the people's clothing got back with black patches on their clothes, and most of us didn't really know what that means until like 3 days before today, where a bunch of people started to complain that they're having rashes and itchy parts, and they're having like cuts in their clothing, like inside of their skins and stuff, their chest, their arms and things. They're getting like allergic reactions in their bodies, and they're all like mutual things. And when they look at their undergarments that they got back from the laundry company, it's like moldy and have like streaks and black streaks and molds on there. So a bunch of people's clothings are somehow contaminated and causing allergy issues to a bunch of people who are wearing it. So now, how the fuck do I even care for that shit? You know? So I have to go back to my squad mates again and then tell them that, look, okay, so like, make sure that your clothings, when you got back, to check on those clothing that you got back, that the clothing have white streaks on there. If they do, take it to me and I'll take it to the seniors, okay? So like, normally my job is just take the clothing back, that's it. I don't need to do any of those works of telling about these things and handling like the clothing and such. And if there's issues with their clothing bags, that's their issues, right? It's not my responsibility to make sure everyone's zippers up and everyone's stuff is fully intact. They have to take it up to their seniors to talk about it. But because I just want them to actually like, I just wanted to do my job right. So I have to go through all these issues, all these problems, all these responsibility because the fucking company couldn't get its things right. Are you sure no one's turning in your squad? Turning in your squad at this point? I hope not. I really hope not. How the heck do they mess up the washing machine to the point where they're black mold? Yeah, no, that's my issue too. How the hell did they even mess up this bad? So So it's just a litany of just whatever the fuck is happening and just all this bullshit to put up to. Oh my god. Okay, what time is it? Okay, I still got 15 minutes left. I don't want to go beyond 3 hours because, well, I need to rest for a bit more. Nious living the Last of Us. Yeah, I'm fighting the moles instead of the cordyceps infections. By some point, my barracks, my ridge is gonna turn into a freaking zombie apocalypse from the inside out. Don't worry, we got patrol officers left and right. It's gonna contain very easily. Yeah, so there's nothing that I was doing right in that entire place, and considerably, I was lucky. I was lucky compared to the other units, because at least my place was clean in some way or another. Even though, oh god, even though. You know what, never mind. Discredit what I said. I'm not lucky at all. I'm not lucky at all. I haven't even talked about the shower situations and the toilet situations. So I think this is my own issue, and it's gonna come out as some sort of bragging, but I can't be the only person who has this problem. So I don't know why, but the toilets in the military, it's like really shallow. So when I sit down, I have to, like, you know, reposition my shaft for I have to, like, reposition my body for a little bit so my tip doesn't touch the bowl. But like, if you I can't be the only person who has that issue, because, like, it's so, like, it feels disgusting to touch it. But, like, if you just leave it there, it will touch, and it's disgusting, but you can't wash it. So you have to, like you have to L shape it, or you have to, like, pull it all the way downwards so that it like aims down into the bowl, into the, like, align with the trajectory of the bowl, so so that it like, you know, it aims at the place where it doesn't touch the bowl. You roid. No, please. That's the next thing I want to talk about. Salute for all you have been through. Thank you so much for the 2 years. Jesus Christ, Yichen. Salute to you too. Yeah, so the toilet was really freaking bad, and keep in mind, I'm a girl. I ain't a shower, okay? So I like my. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm so scared of touching it. It's terrifying, and that's just the toilet, by the way. For some reason, I think it's one of the 4 horsemen. It has to be, but every few days or so, despite the fact that we washed it, like we have to clean the toilet ourselves, right? We have to clean the toilets by our squad mates, like 15 per night. We have to go and scrub all the toilets and shit. But for some reason, every single day, somehow way or another, there's like 5 to 10 toilets for entire squadrons. But every single day, somehow 3 up to upwards of 8 of them will have been, like, fully exploded and stuffed with, like it looks like a Jackson Pollock's painting. Every single stall. I was so disgusted. I was disgusted so much that I legit became constipated during the first week because of how much Jackson Pollock's painting there were. Like, I don't know how people was able to do it, but it's genuinely, it's grotesque. It's even worse when you need to clean the toilet in the beginning, like in the morning, because it just doesn't act as a fucking appetizer for your breakfast. And don't even get me to begin with the freaking food. It feels like a penitentiary food. Oh my god, it's awful. So like the toilet is awful, and we have to scrub it ourselves, but I don't want to because it just like you can't clean a graffiti. You can only paint it forward. So yeah, the details Nious speaking is very traumatized on this, rightfully so. Because I am. It's like they don't understand what it means by flushing the toilet. Some of them feels like they just don't know how to do it. They just leave their. It's like living with fucking dogs. They're marking the territories. You open the stall. It's like because the stall is like you can't see the bowl before you open the stall, right? You push open the stall, and the surprise of the trifecta of the smell, the visuals, and the entire like combination of everything together just hits you like a fucking bag of dicks. It's gnarly. It's grotesque. It's like vulgar. So the washroom's awful. And because of how old our building is, because, well, military, how old our piping system is, sometimes hot water runs out because the boiler room goes fucked and the water tower refuses to dispense water. And there has been 2 occasions when I finally finished all the stuff I needed to do by occupation, without my own choice. That I usually shower very late. I usually shower like 20 minutes before lights out because I don't have the time to do it. But yeah, has been 2 times that when I was going to shower, someone rushed by the hallway yelling, "There's no hot water! There's no hot water!" I was like, "What do you mean there's no hot water?" I walked to the to the hallway, and my tidy whities and my shorts, which is barely enough to cover myself, and it's really cold and windy out there. It's like it's like 5 to 6 degrees during those evenings, and the breeze makes it almost sub-zero. So it was really goddamn cold, and I was already like waiting for the hot waters. So as I was going past the hallways, more and more people walks out and said there's no hot water, there's no water, period. And by that point, the corporals walk out and then said that, "Oh shit, is that what happens?" And then the corporal just walks back in because they finished shower already. It wasn't until for the first lieutenant, the fucking lieutenant of the squadron, walks out of his office to handle the issues, because no seniors are handling these issues. So because of that, the entire building ran out of water. And there's still like 20 of us who hasn't showered yet because we have to finish our own occupations and stuff. So the lieutenant led us in a line to go to the nearby building, the nearby barracks, to shower. And we have to tread through entire openings, windy openings, cold breeze, and shorts and t-shirts. Barely any garments on us, barely any clothing on us, in fucking almost sub-zero cold, just to go take a shower. And oh boy, when I get to the shower, it was like the nearest barrack showers, right? When I get to the shower, I choose the nearest stall, and I was like, fuck it, let me just, no, not even stall, just the nearest positions and shower. I went by and to take a shower, and lo and behold, that shower head doesn't dispense enough water, doesn't dispense enough hot water to balance out the cold water. So I was using like basically like drops of water to clean myself, and it was so little water that was like part of my body was hot and part of my body was completely freezing as I was going. The shower was long and tormenting, but it was even worse when my body's warm, because now my body's warm and the outside is still cold. So I have to walk out with a hot like internal temperatures to go with the contrast of the cold breeze and run all the way back to my own barracks to go and rest up and do a bunch of places and then go and finish the laundry stuff and walk out of the barracks again just to take the laundry to the laundry room. And that happened, wouldn't you know it, twice. That happened twice. Anyway, okay, I need to wrap this up. Yeah. As you can see, I am traumatized. I think I said much as well to say today, but yeah, it's been would have been hard if not freezing you. You didn't have laundry task after. Yeah, it just conveniently everything marched into a freaking hellhole. Anyway, so I'm gonna wrap it up here because I wanted to go beyond 3 hours. Yeah, in the near future, a lot of things has not yet been set in stone. I'll have to go through another 1 week of basic training and 2 more weeks of advanced training to eventually go and do airport patrol things for the military, for the police force. And that's for the deployment, for those who haven't heard about this yet. And then the deployment will finish at June 6th, 13th. After that, I will have like a few months of breaks, but at that point I'll be looking for a job at the airport. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit different from here. And there's gonna be some moving I have to do, and then a lot more from there. But yeah, I just wanted to come back and say that I miss this. I really miss this. This is great to come back again, and to see you guys again warms me up so much more. And yeah, I miss this so much, and I miss you guys, and I hope to come back again very, very soon. But thank you so much for being here. Thank all of you. Thanks all of you for participating in this again, no matter how much I changed. And yeah, it's just the path forward is going to be a lot more tough and a lot rougher than it was before. And I couldn't guarantee myself to be the same person as I was like a few weeks ago, let alone a few months later. But it's nice to be here again, and I feel like I found a sense of myself again. But if time serves me right, next week I'll probably be able to come back and stream. I'm not sure. It's up in the air yet first. But if it's possible, then I'll come back and play Dispatch again with a second playthrough. Yeah, so yeah, Dispatch is going to come out. And I also saw your comment, by the way, Nuna. Yeah, I think I was a little bit too biased about a Blazer thing, but there's a bit of a plot hole I want to talk about Roberts cutting Coop or Sonar next time when we get to it. But yeah, do not check Discord in the meantime. Don't worry, the lack of signal in the freaking military barracks is I can really check much. Find a way to say hello to Bob for us. Yeah, I guess. Fuck Bob. Let me just listen to the clip.
You know what, Soda? I'll officially request from you, can you draw Nious in a bikini and post it under his fan art tag? Thank you.
I hate you. Sure. Motherfucker. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so yeah, until then, no schedule come up, but closest time I can come back is probably next week, but no promises. Yeah, I wish to be back a lot more. I really do, but I kind of don't have the time for it. I'm tired. I really am. But to come back again makes me feel less tired, I guess. I'm not tired because of this. I'm tired because of everything else. Alright? So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming back and, you know, staying here again. I can't put this down at all because of this. And thank you so much for all the patience and all the things that you guys have to put up to because of my absence. But yeah, I'll be missing this. Even though I can't express the same amount of emotions as I do before, but I'll be missing all of you until I come back again. And I'll weather that. I'll weather through all the bullshits, the Bob, the Bob, and the Four Horsemen and all the corruptions, but if it means I can come back again. But, yeah. Until next time when I see you. And everyone, take care. Good luck on the future of your own stuff, and I guess, hopefully, I'll see you very, very soon. Till next time. Happy New Year, folks. First stream of the week. First stream of the year. Just realized that. You're doing your best. And I did. I'm trying. Have a safe journey back to the military again, Private Nious. I do not want that, but I will have to do. God beat on your mental health. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, sure, hopefully. Take care, everyone, especially you. You too, there. Yeah, I haven't seen you since last year. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, also, in the meantime, if you haven't watched my short yet, go and watch those. Those are fucking stupid, but I hope you guys enjoy those. Oh yeah, till next time. Till next time. I'll see you, hopefully, very, very soon. Till next time. Fuck basic training, for God's sake.